Jocelyn.
Just listen what's called the years, the word of the guy who was hated by the god of failure. Just lean. Just listen what's called the years, the word of the guy who was hated by the god of failure. Just lean.
No one here is thinking bad thoughts. Alright, here we go. Alrighty. Hi everybody. Happy Friday. I hope the day has been restful and or productive for y'all. I would say that it has been for me. I've been taking a break since yesterday. I had a lot going on. Nothing bad, but just a lot was going on. So today is just like, I'm gonna just chill. I'm just gonna chill out, relax, and not stress myself out. And that more or less worked out. So yeah, hopefully everybody's doing well. Wait 1 second, I am going to go poke at one thing. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to get one thing to work before we got started and before I got distracted. But, oh, I forgot to post. I actually forgot to post the go live because my brain is empty. Of course. Anyway, That's actually posted now.
No one here is thinking about the heart. It's his kingdom and undead to waste life's grace. It is a fool who hides because everyone is his size. And every outlaw, no age can judge him. Truth is always born in the mind. The big book had shown him the right path. Wouldn't have repeated all. Just listen what's goes on is the word of the guy who was hated by the god of failure. Just listen what's goes on is the word of the guy who swallowed the heart without falsehood. He'll come, for the truth can
Wait,
He'll come, before those who wanna dawn. White card, the words of a man who never fails. Self-lead. He says half the world is my love. It's a mess, I know, but I think it's a joke. Whether it be mother, sister, or daughter, whatever, he doesn't talk about fake love. The outlaw, no age can judge him. Truth is always born in the
okay, that should be handled now. All right. So let's be about it, shall we? Okay, y'all. So it's Drive tonight, and then Street Fighter 6. That's the plan. I was initially not planning on playing Guilty Gear Strive again until Strive 2.0, because that's when we're probably going to be getting, not probably, that is when we're getting Jam. Like, Jam is going to be in that one. They said so. Well, okay. Said so in the context of when they showed the Strive 2.0 trailer, they didn't actually show any gameplay images of Strive 2.0, but they did show 2 character pictures. One of whom is very obviously Robo-Kai, if you know your Guilty Gear stuff. The other of which is pretty much its Jam. A lot of the flair and style of the second character that they showed that wasn't definitely Robo-Kai, it all leans Jamward. So yeah, I wasn't planning on playing Guilty Gear Strive again until Strive 2.0. That was the plan. But then I got to play a little bit of a session of it yesterday with some friends, and it's okay, actually. I like it. So we're doing a doubleheader today. So the plan is to play Guilty Gear Strive for the first half of stream, and then the second half of stream is going to be more Street Fighter 6. I've still been working on like doing Elena ranked for the last little while. just because I've been enjoying it in Street Fighter 6. I think I have found where is it? Here it is. Thank you very much. I feel like I've begun to find my kind of like pace with Elena, and I want to keep going as far as like that is concerned. And there's a pretty good chance that she's probably the next character that I'm going to get to master, I think. Okay, so I meant to come into the standalone applications and run controller display. So there are a couple of things that have changed in Strive, especially since the last time we played it. Aside from the fact that like Team of 3 mode is a thing now, a lot of things have changed in Guilty Gear Strive. So I'm gonna go grab the patch notes and we're gonna talk about some of them. I have none of the DLC because I haven't bought Season Pass 4. I will probably correct that with Strive 2.0. I think. No, don't change to Get Over Nightmares. Anyway. So there are a couple of things that have changed. Some of them I cannot demonstrate immediately. Others I can. So I'm just going to go read out the patch notes and explain what some of this means. So, the major thing the most recent character for Guilty Gear Strive is Lucy from Cyberpunk Edgerunners. Alongside Lucy came a slew of changes to the actual system mechanics in Guilty Gear, as well as some individual character changes as well, right? So, there are two aspects in which we are going to be kind of discussing this. System changes and then character changes. So, some of the major ones. So, basically speaking, here is one of the things that is major here. Guilty Gear Strive has something called the risk system. And the idea behind the risk system is that as you are blocking attacks continuously, your risk meter increases, right? As your risk meter increases, at least in the previous games, the idea would, or rather prior to this patch, the idea would be that as your risk level increased, you would take more damage from attacks if you got hit. So blocking a lot would basically make it so that when the opponent cracked you open, you eat a shit ton of damage. Additionally, once your risk level reaches over a certain threshold, any hit that you take is guaranteed to be a counter hit. So the idea behind like the risk level and the risk gauge is to make sure that you're not incentivized to block a lot, right? Or rather, that if you are blocking a lot, that you need to figure out a way to push somebody off of you. So generally what this means, so the change that has happened is that rather than affecting the damage scaling, the character's individual defense value is now what changes depending on the risk level. What this does in practice basically is because damage is still forced to remain scaled. This is the idea here. Because damage is forced to remain scaled, right? As opposed to, oh, the damage scaling just increases more and more and more the higher the risk is pumped up. The idea now is mostly that while you will take more damage if you have a high risk level, it's not from like, oh god, my everything is unscaled, I'm fucked. So basically, essentially speaking, like the swing that you would get from high risk level damage has been crunched down a bit, if I'm understanding this correctly. My understanding, that is the way that it works. So like the example that they give in the patch notes is that Soul has a combo of bar slash, heavy slash, bandit revolver, second hit, red RC, close slash, crouching heavy slash, bandit bringer, right? At risk 0, that does 164 damage. 50% risk before the Lucy patch, 223. 50% risk after the Lucy patch, 182 damage instead. Because the idea is that, basically speaking, for all intents and purposes, think of it like a number crunch. I think I can show this without causing too much trouble on screen. So I'm going to just pull this off real quick, and then I'm going to make sure that if I'm going to do a water fox capture, no, it's water fox audio. Window capture 2. Yeah, I think I can do this one without it. Okay, so like, here's an example of it, right? I should actually wait a minute. Sorry, give me a minute. I need to do that. That's better. So here's an example. So here's an example, right? If you look, I'm going to zoom in a little if I can. So basically, here's the idea, right? We have to do a little bit of math, but forgive me here. So the first hit of this is how you can tell what's going on here. Version 1.47 is the version of the game before Lucy. 1.48 is the current version now, right? So with the way it used to work, Bandit Bringer's first hit at 0% risk is 21 damage. With the way it used to work, where what's happening is that the damage scaling is reduced as the risk level goes up, the first hit would just be doing more damage, right? 50% risk, Bandit Bringer's first hit is 36 instead of 21. 100% risk in the old patches, Bandit Bringer's damage would have been unscaled to 46 from 21. In the new patches, what is essentially happening is that the early parts of where the damage would be unscaled are being squished back to normal values, right? And it's more so that the larger chunks of damage now come in. The larger chunks of damage now come in the later half of the combo, with the earlier part being still relatively scaled. So that's the idea behind the change that they made here. For all intents and purposes, that is the that's the change that has been made as far as risk is concerned. So a lot more of the compression of the damage happens early on. A lot more of that compression happens early on, and then it slightly decompresses at the end, as opposed to front loading all the big damage and then punching down a little bit later. That's the major change with Risk. Aside from that, yellow roaming cancels. So if you're blocking, if someone's attacking you, right, and you do a yellow roaming cancel, you push them off and get them away from you, right? Yellow roaming cancels now push the opponent back further. And if you YRC in the air and your opponent blocks that YRC in the air, it is much easier to punish you. You can also, however, right, there are moves that cause guard crush, which is like when you're blocking, if you're hit by a move that causes guard crush, your character will like go like whoa. But now you can also do a YRC during guard crush. So essentially speaking, a lot of that overwhelming pressure from guard crush attacks is lessened now because you can YRC during it and push them off. Additionally, overdrives or super moves with invincibility. Hang on, let me make sure that this is set correctly. Because I think it may also be that... let me make sure that this is correct for this. So, it used to be that there were some overdrives in this game where that green tension gauge at the bottom, it would not consume. I don't know if this is true for Sin. I think it is. But there are some super moves in this game where where your tension would not be consumed immediately upon doing that. So you could do it, do a PRC like I just did there, and stop it and still have like 50 meter left. There have been a lot of moves, with some exceptions, according to this, right? The first frame of startup will get rid of the 50% tension that the super move costs, and then if you PRC it, that's the other 50. So you, basically speaking, can't do a super, go oops, 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 no, and then cancel it and keep 50% of your meter. You can't do that anymore, with certain exceptions, is what they say. Another major thing is that there are certain moves that cause a stagger on hit, where your character kind of like does a little wiggle backward and can't defend themselves. It's not like guard crush, because with a guard crush, you were in a blocking state and then you got knocked out of it. With a stagger, you got hit and then you got forced to go like, oh, for a little, right? However, the main thing is that you used to have to mash in order to get out of stagger faster, and it doesn't work like that anymore. You will instead automatically recover at the earliest possible moment after the stagger is done. And there are certain moves now that have been changed in correspondence to that. I think, for example, a major example of this is Slayer's command throw. Slayer's command throw, Bloodsucking Universe, used to cause, I'm pretty sure it causes stagger. Traditionally, I don't know if it still does now with these changes. No idea. And then last but not least, there are adjustments to this mechanic called Wild Assault. So with Wild Assault, you spend half your burst meter and you can do like a follow-up out of like a tap, like if you manage to hit somebody. Sin uses Red Wild Assault. Red Wild Assault no longer works on opponents who are blocking. So, or rather, you can't continue following up afterward. So, like, you notice I'll do this. That third hit will not come out if Kai blocks that. There are other changes to the other Wild Assaults that are relatively pertinent. I'll just go over them quickly. Blue Wild Assault. With Blue Wild Assault, the idea is that it is now better for actually forcing block strings, because when you hit with Blue Wild Assault now, the damage scaling is increased and the blowback scaling is also increased, which means that you not only do less damage if you try to keep a combo going from Blue Wild Assault, you also wind up pushing the opponent further back. You also cannot, and for White Wild Assault, which only certain characters have, you can't Roman cancel it, which means that while you can use a White Wild Assault to get through an opponent's attack and continue doing stuff because it's invincible, you can't Roman cancel afterward to do other stuff. That's basically the way that it works. That said, Red Wild Assault is a little bit less... is also a little bit less unsafe, slightly. So, all that said, let's look at actual character changes. So, here's the main thing. With Sin, he got a couple of nerfs, mostly to his mid-screen damage, and some adjustments to certain normals that he had. So, let's get into it real quick. It's a little bit harder for me to read this, so I'm gonna push this one window over here. I won't be able to read chat for a little bit, so forgive me a little while I go over this. So, Sin's 2K, slightly slower. It has 12 frames of recovery and is slightly more unsafe on block. So, it used to be 11 frames of recovery, so the total action used to be 19, now it's 20. On if it's blocked, it is now -3 on block instead of -2, so it's slightly less safe to poke with. Jumping Slash has 2 more active frames and actually reaches downward, so it's a little possible to like snooker out certain 6Ps in certain circumstances, but still risky, right? So, the major thing to note here is that the combo duration of Beak Driver's follow-up is not as long. So, from a functional standpoint, right, it sort of prevents Sin from being able to just run up on people after a successful Beak Driver follow-up, because they're not going to be tumbling for as long, so they recover faster. That's the idea. Hawkbaker, the blowback and hitbox for certain frames of it have been adjusted forward and reduced in turn. So what this means basically is that if you do, for example, it makes it easier to do stuff like that, essentially. Because what happens is that Sin, because the opponent is not knocked away as far, and because the hitbox is adjusted forward, it is more likely that Sin will catch people with it so that he can like do other follow-ups. This is sort of in line with the fact that they wanted, at mid-screen, they wanted to force, if you're trying to do combos, they basically want you to do Hawkbaker instead of Hoof Stomp. So it used to be that, like, a long time ago, Hoof Stomp, like Hoof Stomp, when you would use it like this, you could, like, when you could use mid screen, you would be able to use hoof stomp in certain aspects to and the follow-up as well to get certain combos at mid-screen, and this would be dangerous as the person fighting against Sin because it's like, alright, lol, I got hit by an overhead, right? And especially with like 2H launching, it would be like very... It would be very dangerous. But they've kind of removed that. They've been steadily like working to remove that anyway. So now basically like hoof stomp, well, specifically this follow-up now, if you're not in the corner, it just does this knock away, right? Similarly with elk hunt, if you do the elk hunt follow-up, it used to be that like if you did it raw, you could still like get a combo off of it. In certain circumstances, it doesn't work that way anymore. If you want to like actually get an elk hunt combo from the follow-up, you have to like actually land it as part of a combo now. Right? So it's like bop, 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 bop. So that works fine, but if I try to do it raw, no good, right? It's very much on purpose. Now, that said, with hoof stomp, here's the important thing. With hoof stomp in particular, it is not useless, however, because in the corner, hoof stomp now, the follow-up will now do a wall bounce. Now, in keeping with the fact that they want to make sure that if you're doing this stuff with Sin, like you're spending, right? The best way to actually get anything out of it is to have the meter, to have the stamina meter to do another dash cancel afterward. So, this is sort of in line with what they've been wanting to do with Sin anyway, which is that they really want you to have to think harder about where you spend your stamina gauge, so that like if you're gonna pump out the big damage with Sin, you gotta be really on top of your stamina. Right? So in the overall though, Sin is still fine, like he still does the damage that he does, it's just that it's not as easy to like it's not as easy to just absolutely ruin somebody's day with it, you know? And that's on purpose. Like, you can still do this stuff where you catch people out mid-screen and, like, detonate them for a chunk of life. That's not different with Sin. It's just that, like, the explosiveness of it has been reduced, and it's harder to just do that at mid-screen from a random hit or two. That's essentially what they were trying to do, as far as all that's concerned. And then we'll talk about Elfelt as well, and then we're going to do... I want to do ranked probably with Sin, I think, and then we'll see about ranked with Elfelt maybe a little bit later. So, ranked with Elfelt, or Elfelt's changes rather. Let's talk about those for a second. Hey Cousin, how you doing? Hopefully y'all are well. So yeah, let me just pull up Elfelt here. And then I'm gonna not be able to see y'all for a little bit again in the chat because I have to I basically have to put my the window with the patch notes over the chat window so I can't see it for a little while. So give me a second. All right, so big stuff for Elfelt. First thing, 5HH. This move used to launch on grounded hit. Now instead it staggers, right? And before the stagger changes, someone would have to mash to get out of this, but it doesn't work like that anymore. Now, at first you might be going, well, what does this do? Also, the knockback on that part is reduced. What does all that mean? This is pretty much almost guaranteed at any range where 5HH hits, you're guaranteed to get out of repair, which increases your combo damage, but also lets you adjust your positioning relatively easily, right? Now, big one. For Chain Lollipop. As well as Here I Go. So here's the idea. By doing 214S, Elfelt has a little, what we call a rec, right? A series of like 3 inputs that we can input to do whatever, right? However, most notably, you used to be able to do this infinitely by just pressing slash over and over and over again, right? You can't do that anymore. The main rule is that now, anytime you do Here I Go, which is this, you only get 2 follow-ups. Doesn't matter what 2 follow-ups you use, you only ever get 2, period. You just gotta hold that. Additionally, you can dash cancel any of the Here I Goes that you want, but you cannot use another Here I Go as when you do that dash cancel. So I do that, dash cancel, I can't do it again, right? Aside from that, up high, which is this move, both the hitbox and the hurtbox for up high have been expanded downward. So it is easier to get more consistently the actual hits of it as the overhead. But because the hitbox has been expanded downward, it's possible to, if you're paying attention, you can more easily jab Elfelt out of it, right? Aside from that, Elfelt, much like Sin, got affected by the tension gauge change, where if you're doing a super move, right, you see it spends before the cinematic, so I can't like Roman cancel it and keep 50 meter. I have to commit. Aside from that, basically, Bombomniere causes a launch when this part hits, and the reason why that matters is because it causes a launch, Elfelt now has time to dash up and approach and do Okizeme. Or if she doesn't want to, right, don't want to approach, you can just do that, or right, with the changes to with the way that the changes to 5HH work now, right? You can probably do other stuff that I don't actually know how to do very well. So basically, essentially speaking, Elfelt got a little bit nerfed, but not like as well as it can be. Explains so I can keep my mind off things. Yeah. So yeah, essentially speaking, Elfelt kind of just got pulled in a little bit, but essentially speaking, sorry, I just saw an email come in. Alright. Cool. So those things are handled. Yeah. So, essentially speaking, Elfelt got normalized in a little bit, but nothing where it's like, oh, the character's unplayable. Generally speaking, I think the changes make sense. I will be the first person, even as like a Sin enjoyer, I will be the first person to tell you that, like, yeah, Sin is scary, Sin is a bully, and it makes sense that they made the changes that they did. Sort of like, it makes sense that for Sin in particular, they were like, yeah, so here's the deal. You're not going to get all of your absurd mid-screen damage anymore, which I think is fair. It's one of those things where, like, again, I like Sin a lot. I think Sin is a cool character. I'm going to be playing Jam when Jam comes out. I'm just being honest with y'all about that. So yeah, like Sin's scary, right? And I acknowledge that like a lot of his mid screen used to be really, really ridiculous. And a lot of the changes that I have seen happen with Sin over the course of Guilty Gear Strive has mostly been about like pulling him in a little bit. I should go see what Slayer's changes are, actually, because I don't know what they are.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society, so instead of reflecting,
I think Slayer got some,
they blamed the beast.
but I do not know. Yeah, counter hits changed. Master's Hammer no longer does all that other stuff, but the attack level has been increased on that. Okay, increased guard crush duration. Okay, I see. Also, rest well for Slayer's Japanese voice actor. He passed on recently. No. Oh, yep. My punch. Yeah. Ow, that hurts. Yeah, Slayer's still Slayer. So that's the thing, right? Like, the thing about Strive in particular is that it has not stopped being Strive, I think. It's just that, like, alright.
Duel 3.
Got the burst, that's all I really care about. Nope. Don't want that. So the thing about Pow Bunker that makes it kind of a pain to deal with is that yeah, so you see how far back they got pushed after that yellow Roman cancel? That's the change I was talking about. And you also saw how I went like, oh god, oh fuck. And then I was able to do it. That's what they mean by beat this vampire's ass. I will do my best. Cam. It's Slayer, so you know. No. I didn't do the cancel correctly. Damn it. Ooh, wasn't enough to kill. Damn. Whew. We made it though. Yeah. Ah, counter hit Pow Bunker. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, I have no mods. I can't clear that through auto. I can't clear that through auto mod right now. Damn. Wait, I could. Oh, I guess I got wall stuck. That would explain it. Yeah, Slayer. I don't know what Slayer's guts value is, but if it's high, if it's relatively high, then it doesn't surprise me that couldn't fucking kill him. So guts, to explain that for people who don't play a lot of Guilty Gear, is basically speaking, essentially, you can think of it as how much grit does your character have as they approach the end of their life bar. Characters with a high guts rating tend to take less damage as their health. I messed up. I didn't mean to reject that person. Characters who have a high guts rating tend to take less damage as their health bar decreases. If I remember correctly, if I'm doing my math right. Sometimes I forget. So yeah, it's one of those things where a character has their base health value and then their guts kind of factors into it afterward. So a character that has a relatively low base health value but high guts will still die relatively quickly. It's just that mostly what happens is that a lot of their first life bar, the first part of their life bar, goes by much quicker. Yeah, Pop Buster. It's okay, I got the burst. All right. Fuck, too slow. Oh, right. This means that I can, if I have meter now, I can do, I can, what's it called? I can wire seed if I get hit by a Groot impact. That's actually really good. Yeah, no, that's fine. I got caught by that. I was jumping too much. Alright. Yeah, you can tell that I haven't played a lot of Strive in a while because I'm making a lot of really silly mistakes. But it's fine. I'm doing ranked mostly just because I want to feel out where I would land and not necessarily because I'm trying to sweat super hard to get high rank. It'd be nice, but I don't think I will necessarily because I haven't been playing Strive enough to really actually have the proper game sense for that, and I acknowledge that. We don't know. Strive 2.0, we have no clue what it actually is. Ooh, clean hit. Damage. Oh. You tried it. Ah. So yeah, Strive 2.0, we have no idea what it is. It could be that they do a title update and they just haven't announced what the new title is, alongside more balance changes and other stuff. No clue. They have not said. And I imagine that we are not going to be hearing that for a while. We're not going to know. Nope. Whew, made it. Jam and Raven. Yeah, I mean, no, like in Strive 2.0, Jam and Robokai. Those are the first, those are either characters that will either be the first two or they will be out as part of it. It's one of those two, but it's Jam and Robokai because in the trailer, we saw Robokai's Enui belt and the design that they used for the other character that's in that trailer is extremely jam coded. Even leaving that aside, I've seen some leaked artwork, and the leaked artwork is of Jam, and it matches the character that's not Robokai that's in that trailer. It matches the leaked Jam artwork. It's Robokai and Jam. Like they are either going to be the first two characters that are involved in Strive 2.0, or they will come out doing some part of it. It's one of those two. Yeah, good. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm here for Jam. Like, the main thing is that I know that the main thing I'm interested in seeing is how they translate her playstyle into this game. Because the main thing that made Jam really effective in the old Guilty Gear games was very specifically the way that they were... how do I put it? I messed up the punish. God damn it. I messed up the cancel into RTL. I don't know if it would have killed because Temkin has hella guts, but it would have at least gotten me a corner carry and I might have been able to kill, maybe. But yeah, so the thing with Jam in particular that I'm interested in seeing how they adapt is that the main thing is that Jam thrived in previous Guilty Gear games off of the fact that her Gatlings are really, really oppressive. Like, if you play Jam in previous Guilty Gear games, the main thing that will get you fucked up is mostly that it's like, oh, okay, she'll do like punch, kick, punch. Like, she'll do punch, kick, punch, and then throw in like a close slash at some point, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? Right? And things like, oh yeah, like, if I remember correctly anyway, assuming that I'm not talking bullshit, and I think I'm not, like, it would be shit like, oh yeah, like, Jam's standing 5K is a standing low, right? So, if you're not paying attention, and you stand up for whatever reason, when you're trying to block her block strings, you eat a ton of shit. So it's one of those things where, like, mostly I'm curious to see how they translate the idea that Jam will oppress you with a lot of, like, that very close range stuff and then force you to make a mistake in a scramble. Because that's always been her thing in terms of, like, what her specialty is. Yeah, like, Asuka has doing card stuff, and then, yeah, how they translated Abba's Maroha stuff into this game is really impressive, and I do think that Jealous Rage is a pretty good translation of the things that made Abba such a menace. that made ABBA such a menace in Accent Core plus R. I think that they did a pretty good job with that personally. So I'm interested to see what they do for Jam, because I don't, unless Strive 2.0 also happens to come with a very serious rework of like the Gatling approach, which I don't think it will. I don't think that's gonna happen. So, like, 'cause I think at least my general impression is that they are very much fine with the approach that they've taken with the way that like Gatlings work in this game now, and we just kind of have to like live with that. Ooh. Fifth one, I want to talk Kontadoki. Fair point. Yeah, like it's because of I just kind of like remember a lot of what they were saying about like damn it, ads. I'll get back to Hammersmith's point in a minute once ads are over. Oh, you don't get ads? Okay, excellent. But yeah, like, mostly I just kind of, like, think about a lot of the things that they said about, very specifically, the approach they wanted to take to, like, you know, stuff like, Gatling tables and things like that. And I'm pretty sure they're not going to walk it back insofar as, like, oh yeah, we're going to just do old-style Gatlings. Would I be happy if they did that? Yes. I don't think it fits the energy that they want for Strive 2.0. Because here's the thing, right? This is like the 50-50 of it. I know that Pat Miller, who plays a lot of the older Guilty Gear, mostly he plays Xrd. Pat Miller's like an Xrd player, primarily, right? And one of the things that he brought up about the old style of Gatling tables, even when they were relatively complicated, because as a general rule, the way that the Gatling tables used to work in Guilty Gear before Strive is that your punch, kick, slash, heavy slash buttons, you used to be able to do those all in a chain. Like if you've ever played Marvel versus Capcom and he's in the Magic series in that game, where it's like light punch, light kick, medium punch, medium kick, heavy punch, heavy kick, right? You used to be able to do something very similar damn it. You used to be able to do something very similar with that in the previous Guilty Gears, but different characters would have different rules for how those Gatling chains work. So like there are some you could generally do for every character PKSHS, but there are some characters who would have like reverse Gatlings in there somewhere. It's like Jam, you could in fact go back from her standing heavy slash back to like her close slash and things like that. Agreed, but imagine Jam's giving you, yeah, that would probably make the most sense in the context of what they want. That would be one of the things that I think would make the most sense in the context of the way that they run the game. Or, yeah, like to a certain extent. She also had V-beats. Not with every button, necessarily, right? But it is a thing where, like at some point I'll boot up Xrd and I'll demonstrate it as an example of what I mean. Not tonight, but at some other point. Yeah, this Dizzy is way more comfortable with what they're doing. Ooh, that was good 6-speed. Yeah, that's fair. I'm cooked. Yeah, that's fair. Good Michael Sword. Okay. Yeah, they've got the Oki. They know what they're doing. I'm probably gonna get cooked, but it's fine. I'm not stressing. Yeah, okay. They...
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll hold that. That's fine. The other Dizzy wasn't nearly as, like, confident in what they were doing, and that's why I was able to just kind of, like...
Mankind.
That's why I was able to kind of keep their shit in, because, like, the other Dizzy, they were not, like, actually ready for that shit. Got the burst. Careful now. Yep. Nope. They... Oh. That should have been a burst bait on their part. They should have been able to get me. Was that an actual unblockable? I feel like fish hits mid. Ooh, God, Michael Sword. Is the Michael Sword. Okay, so... Okay, so Michael Sword is not an automatic wall stick, unlike Pile Bunker. Yep, that's fair. Oops. Nah, I'm cooked. Yeah, see, this is how, like, a Dizzy player who actually feels comfortable with what they're doing, this is how they play. Even with the changes that have happened to her for Strive, that's essentially what it's like playing against Dizzy in the older Guilty Gears as well. He didn't have, like, the ground freezing thing in the older games or anything like that, but yeah, like, a good Dizzy would basically just, like, space you out with, like, fish chomps. Like, a good Dizzy player would like freeze you out with, like, fish chomps and all that other stuff, and you kind of just have to eat shit. This is the first time I fought against an Unica because I don't have the season pass, so I have not been able to try her out myself. Not really. I also really should have finished watching Dual Rulers before I went to go look up something else, because now I understand way too many things about who she is and where she came from. I'm not going to tell y'all anything if you haven't finished watching Dual Rulers. I recommend that you do that.
Duel 1. Let's rock. Duel 2. Let's rock.
Ooh, good jump. If I'd reacted fast enough, I would have been able to do Iron Barrel. Okay, I see. So that's the record. Did they do a taunt or a respect just now? Okay. was my 10th match, so I'll know my placement in a minute.
大事にしてくれてサンキュー
So they'll tell me my placement after this match, probably.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
No idea. Never seen the character. Yeah, like the main. Ooh, yeah, it might have been plus. I had no way of knowing for sure, so I didn't want to press a button. Ah, I missed it. I didn't have the meter, so I just did another beak driver to make sure I got the wall break.
Slap.
余裕だな
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Damn it. I messed up. After that Roman cancel, if I'd just done two... If I'd done...
父さん母さんも待ってる
If I'd done 2H... if I'd done 2H, I would have gotten another launch. Cancel that into RTL, gotten the kill. But it's okay. These things happen. We'll do maybe like 1 or 2 more ranked matches with Sin. And then once we hit like the hour and 30-minute mark for streaming, I want to switch over to Street Fighter. Okay, my first time fighting Lucy. I have no idea what she does.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society. So instead of Duel 1. Let's rock.
Okay, I see. I see. So by landing certain moves, that happens. Now I got hit by that. Oh, I should have done. I forgot the combo. It's supposed to be 6P after you do like these like jab 6P. That. No. That's fair. Yep, there's the quick hack thing. Hybrid of Testament and Axel, more so yeah. I can see that. Makes sense to me. That's fine, depth burst. That's all I don't care about. Okay. Except she has a true DP and reaction super. Oh, that must be what that upward looking burst thing is, as far as the DP. Nope, walk too close. Yeah, yeah, that's it. No. Thank goodness I had enough meter left for this for the RTL burst.
Duel 1.
Thank goodness I had enough meter for the RTL burst. Get that kill, baby! Yeah, you thought I was gonna burst. I saw that. there was a point during that combo where they did the roaming cancel and then they stopped and did the faultless defense, thinking I was gonna burst, and I didn't burst. That's fair. Yeah, I know how to block that cross up now. Ooh! That was really close to not being a clean hit, and that would have been really bad, and I would have died. I might have held that almost a little bit too long, and if I had fucked that up and not gotten the clean hit, they would have gotten a chance to get back up. Thank you for believing him, I appreciate it. Also, hi LaShoy. Yeah, we'll do Street Fighter 6, like I said, once I get closer to like an hour and a half in. I don't know what rank I got. This is like gold or some shit. I don't know.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society.
I'm not like super sweating it. I'm just kind of having me a good time. I really thought like I said before, I really thought I was gonna wait till Strive 2.0, but after playing Sin and seeing what was going on, I was like, you know what? No, this is all right actually. I don't mind. Sin more or less still feels like himself, and it's just the only stuff all the stuff that's different is stuff that I needed to be relearning anyway. So it's like, all right, it's fine.
Potemkin versus Sin. Duel 1. Let's rock.
Got the burst. Slide head? Nope. No, I'm hesitating. Also, Slidehead no longer has armor, by the way. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Hammerfall still does, obviously, but like slide head doesn't. That's good. And I know that you can also YRC out of if you fuck up and you have to like block and you have to block a too low. If you damn. Yeah. I should have been watching Potemkin there. I might have been able, even while faultlessing, I might have been able to slip and still crouch block, maybe, but I messed up. My fault. But yeah, Hammerfall and Pop. Oh yeah, Popbuster does have armor now, doesn't it? I forgot about that. Shit.
Mankind knew that they cannot change. Duel 1. Let's rock.
I arrive. I got blasted for 50 damage in one turn by my girlfriend. It'll be all fun. That's good. Damn it. Yeah, Popbuster, I'm cooked. So if I could get my reversal windows better, I would literally be able to just like fucking pop through Garuda Impact with Hawkbaker, but I am still having difficulty getting that timing correct. Like that situation, if I didn't have burst, it's one of those things where like yeah, no. The moment that PRC came out, I was kind of cooked. It's fine. But it's good to see you, Cat Wizard. Yeah, I'm gonna do maybe one or two more, and then we're gonna switch over to Street Fighter because I want to see what I can do with Elena. But yeah, probably if I had to pick a choice between what character in Strive I will be using until Jam comes out, probably Sin. I like Elfelt, and I think Elfelt is still pretty cool, which is not something that I would have said in XR or Revelator or Rev 2. But Sin, I think, yeah, Sin is probably much more in line with who I am as a player next to Giovanna in this game. And like Giovanna, I stopped being interested in once they started, hilariously, once they started like changing up her playstyle a little bit. She started being like a little bit too much big brain for me. I'm like, nah, I'm not about it. Played a Perplexing Chimera, so I thought it'd be funny. It was, but it also didn't help me at all. Okay, so yeah. Oh, wait. There we go. Blah blah blah. Da 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 da. Ah yeah, Eddie Tree. So Eddie Tree is when whenever you see Zato's shadow do like the funny wiggly wobbly multi-hand thing behind him like that. The main point of Eddie Tree is that while Eddie is doing that, if you hit Eddie, yeah, you see, basically what happens is that Eddie turns into a shield for Zato during that time. And so if you try to hit Zato while Eddie Tree is out, you wind up just hitting Eddie instead. It's how he keeps himself from basically getting his shit pushed in. Insofar as like, oh, I was running offense with Eddie like that, right? Okay, I see. I think then he has like some kind of like other Eddie related stuff. Ooh, thank goodness. It's a creature that lets you swap control of it and another player's spell at will. Okay, I see. So, yeah, I see. I see. Zato's such a cool design. Yeah. Yeah, see, there's Eddie Tree again. And yeah, like... Yeah, let me think here. I love Zato's design, I just do not have a brain big or full enough to play him. Okay, I see. So, basically after Super... Oh no, I fucked it up. So after Super, Zato can like Eddie then like Eddie keeps doing Eddie things afterward. So like essentially speaking, you have to be just not. Damn. Yep, and then Eddie splashes down. Yep. Couldn't manage it. Yeah, this is rough. This is a tough one. Damn, that is JP. Again. Yeah. So yeah, the part that's rough about this matchup in particular is that, like, literally trying to, like, the main thing is that in situations where I want to try to throw Eddie, in situations where I want to try to throw Zato so that I don't get fucked up by Eddie Tree, I'm in a situation where, like, that happens, right? Like, y'all saw it, right? Where basically, yeah, like, that happens mostly in situations where it's like, okay, look, sweating, 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 sweating. Oh, damn. No. Woo! 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 That's so good. And this is why I like playing Sin. Because basically speaking, if there is anything that I consider to be like my actually like main good point in a fighting game, it's that I have an incredible clutch factor. We're switching to Street Fighter 6. We're not done. Just switching to Street Fighter. Yeah, if there's anything that I personally kind of like count as like my it factor in a fighting game, it's that I have an incredible propensity for clutching shit out um, when it really feels like I shouldn't. Um, yeah, some people can just lock in like nobody's business. Yeah, every now and again, yeah, like basically every now and again, when I'm not either like freaking out or psyching myself out, my clutch factor is spectacular. Basically, so far as I can figure, anyway. Best strength either in Final Fantasy 14 or early panic when everything goes sideways. I usually keep my cool and focus on keeping things together. Yeah. Um. Oh, it's Ed's birth. Oh, okay. Okay. I feel like it is appropriate to point out here for like half a second that like I just gotta point this out. There is a point in the story mode, right, where for like I think it shows up in either World Tour or one of their arcade modes or both. But there's a point where Manon is like, I don't really like being called strong because I have a whole complex about that because my mom would say it to me all the time and use it as an excuse to just like let me do whatever, and I have a complex about that, right? But and Marisa, on the other hand, is very much a listen. If you are strong, I am strength sexual. I am strength sexual, and I do not care who knows it. If you are a strong fighter, and you give me a good show, I'm about that life. If you're about that life, right? Like that is very much the energy that she comes in. And so I forget in whose story mode it comes up, but basically Marisa says something to the effect of, "Yes, you are strong," and Manon initially is like, you know, having a moment about that. And then Marisa's like, no. Understand that I mean it in this context like this. And look, what I'm saying is that they're gay as shit, is what I'm saying. Like, Your Honor, they're gay. Like, they don't say it, but the implications are right there. Marisa absolutely is strength sexual. She sees Zangief fight as me, like, that guy's husband material. Yep. But yeah, she's also hella gay for Manon. Yeah, like... I haven't warmed up at all for Street Fighter, so there's a very good chance I'm gonna fuck up and do a combo I shouldn't be doing. Okay, I'm still playing Strive, but let's see. Okay. Yep. Oh. Heading spot. Yeah. Yeah. Even if I had managed to react correctly with Drive Impact, I don't think I had enough health to live it the way I would have liked to. No. Okay, that's fair. Check me like that. Spiral arrow, cannon spike. Ooh, not enough to kill though. Alright, let's see. Nah, I shouldn't have. I should have moved forward to slide a little. It means like I'm doing a bit, but I'm not. It's actually what happens. I love it. Yeah, I haven't played all. I don't think I finished World Tour, but I know enough that I heard about that. Oh, I wasn't expecting to wind up on the other side of that. Alright, let's... Yep, that's fair. Spiral arrow. Here we go. Alright. Yeah, that's fair. No. No. I like the same brain cell 2 HK. Yeah, I did slide. I meant to do 2 HK for sure, but I wasn't paying attention to how far apart I was, so I wound up doing slide instead. No. No! Fuck! Now I'm cooked. That should be it. Fuck. Nah, if I jabbed. Jab mashing would have been the only way to kill them out of the drive impact, or reacting with super. So, the thing that makes the Cammy matchup very difficult is that Elena has better pokes, but Elena's move speed is slightly worse. So it's one of those things where, especially because some of Elena's better pokes are a little slow, but Cammy has really good move speed. If Cammy positions herself correctly and you're not poking well as Elena, then what happens is what y'all saw, where basically like I just kind of like eat shit trying to either force her off of me or snipe her out if she's spacing herself correctly. The throw. Yep. Come here. Sure you can. Yep. Ooh. Alright, that's good. We take those. Yeah, good thunder kick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get hit by a couple of those drive impacts a couple times until I wake up to the game that I'm playing, essentially speaking, so to speak. I messed up the punish, which is a shame. Hadouken. Good throw. Now I got hit. And even if I timed that better, I would have still got hit. You're done. Keep it simple. Sometimes the best thing to do is just keep it simple. One and done. That's fair. Alright, go on. Do what you feel. You grown. Do what you want. Yep. Uh, yeah, that's not that safe. Meteor volley, scratch wheel. That's fair. That was a good one. That was ballsy, but I respect it. Rising tackle. Oh. Yeah, I'm not really interested in working that. That Buster Wolf was very good. I didn't respect that game. Ooh, yep. Good throw. Good use of the crack shoot also to close that distance. Nah, I think I went second. Good. I don't know if that is actually a real setup or not. To slide in and then be able to block afterward. Maybe, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure like anything like probably proper wake up pinball will eat shit there. Ooh, yeah, good infra. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. They're still in burnout, but I am gonna get a lot of damage from that. It's okay. Yeah, I think that 2 MP hit them on the ground. If it had, I could have done Moonglider, SA3 and killed, but I dropped it. Okay, yeah, now they're starting to like wise up to that. Burn Knuckle. No. Nope. Charge, got shoot, rising tackle. Good. There we go. Now we gotta start doing that. And occasionally probably like other quicker lights also. Because I can't quite enforce the power. Shoot. Good though. Oh, that was good. That was good check. Good check. Good check. Very good. Power charge, but they don't have enough to really do much off of it. Damn it! Spin Scythe didn't come out. I didn't do the input correctly. Spin Scythe out, SA3 clinched. Clean. But I messed it up. Mm-hmm. Good throw. It's not gonna kill. but I want to force a situation where they're still stuck in burnout, so I can either force them to try to pop a CA when I do this, or otherwise keep moving backward. There we go. Because I figure if I hit them with one drive impact, they'll jump to avoid a second one, so I can then jump and take advantage of that. Because the distance that you get pushed back by a drive impact is increased if you as the defender are in burnout. Yeah, the one. Good check. Good quick burn. Quick burn knuckle. Yeah, that's fair. If I'd blocked, nah, I don't think I could have gotten the kill. Because even then I was lacking a little. Power done. Power done. There we go. They would have had to like burn SA. Well, a Buster Wolf would have gotten them through that pretty fine. But the mental pressure is part of it. There we go. Yep. I got hit by that. If I hadn't done the follow-up, I would have been safe enough if they tried to do that. Because I would have been plus, but I messed up. However, this is not going to kill. But I'm in a position where I can make a move here now. Like that. Because the main thing is that when Elena does her super R3, her drive rush may not go super far, but basically her drive rush puts her in a position where she can either, because of its speed specifically, it works to her advantage because she'll do super R3, and if you're put to the corner and then she drive rushes at you, because of the speed of her drive rush, she will be able to like bait out you trying to like super art her back or whatever you do, she'll be able to bait that. And if you're too scared and you let her get away with like pressing on her for longer range buttons, then it's plus as fuck, and you gotta hold that, basically. Gladius. Yeah, good. They're awake. I can't present the slide right away because they're looking for it. So when that sort of thing happens, right, where it's like, all right, I'm Elena and I can't seem to get them to respect the slide. What do? Don't use it. You either go for like your crouching light kick, except it's faster, and like aim to hit with the overhead instead. Nope, that's my fault. I should be dead now. Yeah. So basically, if you're trying to like pop somebody with like Elena slide and they're not like getting hit by it, you just don't use it. You stop for a little while and you present them with like the overhead or other stuff. Like if they're blocking a lot of her lows, like you just present her quicker lows for a while and you avoid stuff like the slide. Alright, that's fair.
Round 2. Fight.
Like this. No, you're not doing that 3 times. Yeah, I shouldn't do that. Okay, so basically, the lesson that you should have learned from watching me is that when Marisa does that funny looking punch thing, she wins a trade. Don't fucking trade that with her. It's still special cancelable, so it's not like you can like. I don't think you can drive impact it safely, because if you do it and she sees it and it's like, oof. Oh hey, look at that. It's what's his face? Finance, what's his face? It's this guy.
Round 1. Fight.
That's fair. I tried to do cheeky Rhino for and I deserve that. Yeah, but so because Elena does not move particularly quickly, she does have like a harder time like sometimes enforcing the benefits of her. Ooh, that is a ballsy place to do a command grab, but I respect it. Oh yeah, shit. He had meter. I could have literally gotten killed. I could have gotten killed by Super Art 1 right there. I was nearly reposted in the wrong gang. That would have been really fucked up. Yep. No. No observe. No. Pierce. Pierce. No. Pierce. Pierce. Yep, that's fair. It's over. I might have still been in block stun from something else, so I didn't have a chance to snipe him out of command grab. Unfortunate, but it happens. Pierce. Nope. Ah, I messed up. Ah, damn it! If I'd only been a little closer, I would have gotten him. I gotta hold that. Because the thing about that Elena's Super Art 2 is that it is completely invincible until like the first active frame. So if somebody's throwing projectile, just hit quit. Don't make me wait. Don't make me wait. Stop it. I hate it when people do this shit. Like if I was gonna say, like if you don't want to rematch, then hit quit. But don't make me like wait. That's rude. Yeah. Oh, that's fair. Alright. Fierce. Yeah, there we go. I would have expected that to knock me much farther away than it did. Yeah. The moment I saw them walking away, it's like, nope. Ooh. That was only 1-1. Damn. Ooh. And that's one of the reasons why I like Elena. The thing is that, like, while Elena is a character where you, because of the fact that her limbs are so long, and by proxy her walk speed is comparatively slower, it's one of those things where initially the thing to adjust to is that you have to spend a lot of time trying to like bait people into doing things that they really shouldn't be. And to a certain degree, Elena relies on both conditioning and on being able to recognize when somebody's standing up so that you can like actually tag them with some of your more dangerous moves and things like that in order to like actually keep them honest. But it's a little tricky. Good. Messed up the next hit. Yeah, see? Those little backdashes are basically Cammy's like quickest way of like making sure that she doesn't get tagged by, ooh, that's plus. And this is what I mean by like Elena, like the worst thing that can happen to you is that Elena catches you standing, because good cannon spike. Oops. I should have just done regular spin scythe into SA3. Because the thing is that I messed up and I forgot that I didn't get a launch. So, yep. Good. Good. Done. Yeah! Once that Rhino Horn lands, done deal. Hippo. Uh, 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 uh. Good throw. Excellent throw. Very nice. Yep. I shouldn't have done that. That's my fault. Cannon spike. That's plus. I respect that they tried it, but they couldn't quite swing it. Okay, I got it.
Here comes a new challenger. You must crush them.
Okay. Yeah, good throw. Yep. I got the jabs, but I probably didn't react fast enough with the drive impact, which happens. Uh-huh. Yeah. The benefit here is that Ed has to spend, like, he really wants, like, really good. Ooh, that was good. Nope. Unfortunately for you, I pushed you out too far. Oh, nope. Wasn't good enough. Alright, that's fine. You're done. Sorry, Ed. Night, Ed. I guess I could have just done scratch wheel there because I was already in the corner. Nah, they went second. I couldn't tell for sure. That's the thing. Ed is really good at mid-range, and he can probably still slightly outpoke Elena, but Elena also has really long limbs, so it's not as easy for him to like get away with it with impunity. Oops. Yeah, that's good. The reason why they did Super R3 is both for damage and to get some time back on their puts me at a drive disadvantage, and you know, even if they're in burnout, they reduce the amount of time that I actually have to like push the advantage while they're in burnout. Somehow managed to bring that back. So you remember how I said before that like the one thing that I know for sure that I have is like absurd clutch factor? This is the kind of shit I mean. Look at that. I barely had any health left. And just by virtue of the fact that they hesitated 2 spots is the only reason why I got away with that. Otherwise I would have died. Remember? Ooh! Was that actually meaty enough for the thing that... Nope. Ooh, too early. Artosen. I'll get it on mine. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, damn. Too many hits on the... It's clutch. It is pretty incredible that it's felony robbery. Look. I should have done Starling Beak. Oh no. Nah. Up, da, da, da. Good, how good am I? Ooh. Need. No, I fucked it up. Missed it by just a little. Damn. Magic pixel that Ed, I respect it as an Axel main. Yeah. I messed up. If I'd gotten the meteor volley, then heavy scratch wheel would have gotten the kill. But I think I put it in too late. It's my own fault. Just input error. Yeah, like here. Like that. Yeah. They're good. Ooh. Bop, bop, bop. Put it up. Good. Good throw. There's a gap there. Target on mine. Yeah. Maybe I could have tried Super Art 2 there, or OD Scratch Wheel. Super Art 2 would have killed for sure, but... Done. Alright, let's see. I gotta be careful though, because this Mai is pretty clever. They're very careful about where they're throwing fans, and I'm probably not going to be able to like keep catching them with like I'm not gonna be able to keep catching them with like sniping the fans with DI. I'm not gonna be able to get away with that for a while. Embu. Damn, thought I would have enough time. Let's see what they're gonna do. Riambu, Kagero. I didn't need to use SA2 for that, but I wanted to be sure. OD Scratch Wheel would have also done it, but I don't know. Something in my gut just said try that one. Ooh, didn't have enough time to set that up. Satsu. Nah, give me some space. Rising fire, good. Yeah. If they ducked the hit of Rhino Horn, they would have been fine. But I was running a risk that they wouldn't be able to react to Rhino Horn and that I'd hit them with the standing hit of it. So when you're in Burnout, here's the main thing, right? As long as you have Drive Gauge in Street Fighter 6, that little green meter underneath your health bar, even if you block an attack, you can live through basically anything as long as you've got Drive Gauge. However, once you're out of Drive Gauge and you're in Burnout, if you block a special move, you take chip damage and you die from chip damage. So, Mai can cancel that button into Drive Impact, but you have to be like, you gotta be on the ball. I should have done jumping like if I was going to do that. Yep. Blah. Yeah, that's fair. Ooh, lucky. If I had not been closer, I wouldn't have been able to jump in on that, and I probably would have gotten sniped by Ryu Engine trying to jump in on the fireball like that. That's very risky on my part. Nope. Nope. Missed it. If I hadn't missed it, I would have done this. But it's okay. Because I got it now. And that's Diamond 5. So basically at this point, this is the last rank before Master Rank. The only other Master Rank character that I have on this account is Cammy.
A new warrior has entered the ring.
Oh hey, it's Aki. Okay, so Aki's main thing is that she's a weird character, but also poison. The poison cannot kill you, but if she has you with poison and then she hits you with certain moves, poison will pop an extra effect, and then you kind of just eat shit. It's not fun. It goes away if you manage to hit her. But yeah, like, primarily the thing that Aki wants to do is set up situations where she poisons you, and then you eat shit for it. Ah, damn it. OD Scratch Wheel maybe also would have killed there, thinking about it. I was about to do Meteor Volley, but that might have been a waste of meter. Like, and if Heavy Scratch Wheel, if like Light Scratch Wheel did that much, Medium or Heavy probably would have killed. Or OD definitely would have. Ooh. Unfortunate. They dropped. I think they dropped this. They dropped the super combo. If they had not dropped the super combo, I wouldn't have died. It would have been a lot of damage. But I wouldn't have died. It's unfortunate. That. So you saw how there was like that bubble effect that popped over my head and then I went flying for a little bit? That's Toxic Blossom. So if Aki poisons you and then she hits you with like that, it opens up additional combo opportunities. But it only works if you are already poisoned. And it's only very specific moves that will trigger Toxic Blossom. So, like, Aki's main goal is to poison you and either force you to like have to eat the poison picks, or if she poisons you and you're already like close to the corner, she wants to pop Toxic Blossom so she can keep comboing you. I got hit if I jabbed. If I hadn't jabbed there, I would have blocked and it would have been fine. But unfortunately, yep. I should be dead now. Oh, that's unfortunate. Literally, if that Super Art 1 hadn't missed, I would have been dead. That was the right call to do there, but it literally dropped for them, which is unfortunate. If it hadn't dropped, now I would have gotten fucked up. Yeah, no. Alright. Hey, Stubby. Ah, might be cooked. There we go. I got them to block. The important thing is that I got them to block the crouching medium kick, which I got them to block the crouching medium punch, so they were forced to stay on the ground and then get chipped out. So they're gonna put me in the corner. And that's why I was like just poking at them with crouching light punches. I can't say that I knew for sure that they were going to do a drive impact at some point. I made a guess, essentially. But I was like, if I do jabs, that will give me time to react and counter DI if I need to.
Here comes a new challenger.
Oh, hey, it's Manon. So, speaking of Manon, who we were talking about earlier, that metal mark underneath her life bar is her metal gauge. As she lands two very specific attacks that she has, her metal gauge goes up, and it increases the damage of those two attacks, as well as the damage of her super art 3. Nope. That was not far enough away for that. And that's one metal level added. And the thing about Manon's medals is that they also carry over between rounds. So if you're in a circumstance where she gets multiple medals in like the first round, you're not going to have a good time. You do not want that. There is no circumstance on Earth in which you want Manon to have multiple medals at the end of round 1. Or at all, really, but like, especially at the end of round 1 is like really bad. You don't want that. That's a bad situation to be in. However, because this Manon has been focusing more on striking, I am in a relatively good position as far as like metal meter stuff goes. Is it gonna kill? No, but I want to dump a bunch of damage and nope, you tried it, and that's why I did that. So you remember what I said earlier about how Elena's Super Art 3 will keep people pushed out enough that you can like literally react to mostly whatever other thing that they're planning on doing? That's what I mean by that.
Round 2. Fight.
No. Good check. That's good. I've been trying to see if they'll do that like for a while. So yeah, unfortunately for this Manon, I did not let them get started, and they weren't in a situation where they could threaten command grab that much, which kind of led to them getting like hooked up like that. The main thing is that Manon, the main thing that she has to like be wary of is the fact that she cannot enforce plus frames without spending a lot of drive gauge. And because she cannot enforce a lot of plus frames without spending a lot of drive gauge, it is relatively easy if the Manon is not like doing enough mix between striking and poking. It is relatively easy to force them into a situation where, ooh, ooh. Yeah, I'm not even upset. That was good. Huh? Oh, they were looking for it. That's good. I respect it. Yeah, I forgot. After spin knuckle, Kemi's plus on hit. If it's lighter medium spin knuckle, she's plus on hit. Heavy spin knuckle, she's plus on hit or block. And I should have known that because I'm a Kemi player. These are things that I should know. Good throw. Yep. Pierce. Spike. Yeah, now I'm cooked. That should be enough to kill. So you remember what I said earlier, right? About how, like, in the Cammy matchup as Elena, the hard part is that because Cammy moves so quickly, if you are not careful about where you place your buttons, she will, like, just snipe you in a lot of situations when you're trying to, like, force her to do some bullshit. Like, this is what I mean. Yeah, no. Heavy spin knuckle, because of how late that hit, was always going to be safe. So if I'm careful, I should be able to actually catch them walking away more often, or I can get that. This is good. So yeah, one of Cammy's spin knuckles is explicitly very plus on block. So if you try to mash after she uses it, you get fucked up. That happens. Good. Spiral arrow. Yeah, that was good. I'm not dead, but it's gonna hurt. If this was critical art, I would be in a much worse situation. Still 50-50 though. Why did I do that? I didn't need to do that. That was my fault. I was being silly. I didn't need to do that. I could have just walked. So they were in burnout, so they didn't want to like risk anything to. So. Ooh, I messed the punish, but it's okay. We made it out. I was too close. And the thing is that, like, with Elena, you can afford to whip. You can afford to, like, swing one crouching medium kick, just to see if it'll hit. But you don't want to, like, overcommit to it. It's something that, like, a lot of new Elena players I notice do a lot. Good bro. No, too close for that. Spiral out. No, I shouldn't have had to push that. That's my fault. Yeah, but it's going to hurt a lot, and I'm at the drive disadvantage now. Don't jump. Do not jump. You don't need to. This might kill. Because it's critical art. Yeah. Like, the fact that I was at yellow health when I did the super means that my super art 3 became a critical art. Critical arts will do an extra 500 damage than they normally do. So the end result of all of that is essentially that, like, given the starter that I got and the way that I was able to otherwise set things up, that's what we call a fucking done deal. This is the thing about Elena in particular. Like, Elena's damage output is relatively high, but you need meter or the right starter or both to really, like, make it work. Her damage is very high when she has the opportunity, but a lot of it is mostly about, like, you gotta, like, bait people into doing things that they shouldn't be doing, or you get the chance to do that. Yeah, good punish. Yep, good throw. Nah, it's my fault. Why did I do that? I didn't need to do that. I could have just chilled and done anything else but that. Nah. I stuffed that the first 2 times that they tried to catch me with it, and I didn't stuff it that time. Running bear grab, essentially the way that you get around it is that either you jump it or you do something. Oh yeah, headbutt. Ooh, yeah, good use of the knee there. Yeah, okay. So I might be dead. Yeah. I might have been able to jump out of that, maybe, if... I think they did it on my way. So there's a good chance that if I was willing to gamble that it was coming, I could have jumped and avoided it. But I would have had, like, actually make like, a hard read there. Sometimes that just doesn't happen. Damn it, I thought he was standing. Oh god. Ooh, yeah, it's fair. Ooh, yeah. Okay, that's... Yeah, it's my own fault. 3 times I thought that Zangief was going to do the strike option out of the drive rush, and I was wrong all 3 times. No. Oh no. If I'd done it during one of the chops, if I could have, then that would have been better. Okay. Yeah, I could have run it back, but I was a little bit imprudent. It happens. So basically the main thing is that I got a little too comfortable because they'd already burned SA2. And I got a little too loose because it's like, oh, doesn't have Super R3 anymore. I can just do whatever I want. And that was my mistake. That was a lie. I was a doofus, and I made a doofus choice in that particular circumstance. Where I was like, oh yeah, I can just kind of like do whatever. And it's like, no, it's Zangief. And I should know better than to think that. In this context, I mean that like, to be specific, in this context, I mean that Zangief, even without Super R3, in the right circumstances, has more than enough tools to still snatch something back if you give him the space to. And it was kind of like my fault for assuming that just because he didn't have Super R3, that wasn't the case. Yep, that's my fault. Alright, yeah, this Terry is... Ooh. Yeah, fair. Didn't kill. Heavy knuckle would have probably been the better call there. Power charge, crack shoot. Yeah. the thing about Terry is that mostly what he's benefited from in terms of like changes since he's been released has mostly just been stability on a lot of his options. And you sort of are starting to see a lot of that kind of come to fruition now. He's always been a really flexible character anyway. It's just that like a lot of his he had a lot of things that were just like very range that they've more or less solidified for him. That's my fault. I tried to jump out and they put a meaty punch out when I tried to jump out. That's my fault. Quite literally that's my fault. I could have either blocked or... Nope. And they did stop short. Yeah. I deserve that. That's fine. I'm not upset about that. So yeah, this Terry's wiggling a lot. But I don't know if... Okay, yeah, they're watching for that. So... Alright, I think I gotta take this shot, yeah. Nope. Power charge, ground wave. I'm very careful about how often I use the roll there, because it is one of Elena's most flexible tools in terms of like stuff that you can set up with it. But you have to be very careful about how you use it, because it is very easy to like get put in a position where people are willing to stuff it. Yeah, I don't want to force a kill yet. Yep. Yeah, like that kind of like consistency Terry has not had in this game until relatively recently anyway. Nah, it's my fault. I swung too hard. Ah. Like, especially that crouching medium punch, that's Terry's, like, moneymaker button. Especially with, like, recent changes to it. It is much more dangerous to get hit by that than it used to be. Okay, so if I get the spin side, you're done. That's so in my head. I was like, I get a spin scythe. I just got to dial it in. So yeah, you notice that like the way that this Terry is like juking back and forth, right? I could have probably gone away with an overhead there just to try it. And that's why I want to be careful about like just doing like the YOLO slide, because with the way that they're shuffling, it's very easy for me to like kind of mess up a little bit. Yep, good. Shoot, rising. Oh. Yeah, like this is where it gets a little tricky, because like I pretty much okay. I gotta stop presenting the slide for a little bit. and see if I can just like force. But the hard part is mostly that I have to try to like force overheads. It's difficult because they're tempting me a lot with like a lot of the walkbacks. Yeah, see, it's that crouching medium punch. That crouching medium punch is always it. Because the main thing that they've done for Terry with crouching medium punch is that they've turned it into a much more reliable conversion tool if he hits with it. From when he was initially released, they've sort of made it more reliable. And the primary reason for that is because Terry has like literally 2 target combos off his standing medium punch. So to compensate for that, his standing medium punch is really good like he'll throw the standing medium punch as a way to try to bait you into pressing something, so he can hit you with a power drive, right, or what have you. And that has also been improved a little bit, but his crouching medium punch in particular has lower pushback between the two of them, and so it can like act as a gate to a lot of his other stuff. Okay, modern Ryu. Modern people who don't play Street Fighter 6 basically means that this person they don't have to do motion inputs in order to do their special moves and stuff like that. But so it is easier for them to do reaction supers and reaction DPs a lot easier in certain circumstances, which means that not as like a hard and fast rule, but as a general rule, jumping at somebody who's using modern is usually not a good idea. There's specific circumstances in which you do want to do that and ones which you don't. If you jump at somebody if you jump a lot at somebody who is using modern, you're gonna get your shit rocked. So against a modern player, generally speaking, you want to jump, especially if it's like a modern Ryu or something like that. You want to jump less, so that you're not running the risk of like getting fucking popped by like a reaction Shoryu. That's my own fault. I should have done that. I was anticipating a yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so they're paying enough attention to know the best ways to check me just doing random shit. So I need to lock in a little. You're already in the corner, so let's do that one. You should be dead. I don't even need critical art. Super art 3 for pretty much every character in this game just does a lot of damage. So when they were already in critical art range, nah, like you're not getting away. You're dead. It's a done deal. You're cooked. And that's why you want to be careful about, like, again, remember what I said about like why jumping at modern players is kind of dangerous? Alright, so they're looking for drive impacts. I need to basically leave off on that shit because they're not going to fall for that. So you remember what I said about like how like using the roll is a very tricky is like really tricky sometimes. Like that's what I mean. And that's why I waited, because I didn't know for sure that they were going to do a super or something similar. But my guess was, if I pressure them enough, I might be able to bait them into doing something I can block. So I don't need to push there that hard. Pushed enough to make them sweat, but not enough for that. Okay, yeah. Yep, they already know. They know that punish. That's good. You're done. There are also Elena players who honestly, and I respect other Elena players a lot because there are Elena players out there who have a really, really strong understanding of yeah. Right, that's the thing I was thinking. The main thing is primarily that with Elena in particular, other Elena players, um, other Elena players that I've seen that are definitely better than me have a really, really good sense of, oh, this person is standing. I will blow the fuck up out of it. And I respect that. As an Elena player, I more or less choose to lean very specifically on trying to bait people into doing nonsense. Mostly because like that's how you play Elena anyway, partially, but also you know, things and stuff. Ads are gonna start in a minute. So I want to let ads finish first, and then we're gonna raid somebody because it's about time. Technically, high time really that I get up out of here. Um, it's about that time. So I'm gonna let the ads run because I can't, for whatever reason, Nightbot doesn't give me the option to snooze them, or not Nightbot. I can't see the snooze option in OBS, so I can't snooze my ads myself, which is annoying, but say lovey. So we're gonna let ads run first, and then I'm gonna raid us out because I don't want to like try to rush through and do the stuff before ads show up, and then have to like sit and wait anyway, because that's no good. So yeah, ads should start in like a minute. We'll let them run for the 3 minutes, and then we will move on from there. So while that's getting ready to start, I'm gonna go check in on one other thing that I need to sort out anyway, and then we're gonna get back to it. Alright, so yeah, while ads are going, show want to cancel those changes. Don't override that. Okay. Ugh. All right, ad break's done. Okay. Thank y'all for coming by. Deeply appreciate it. Streaming schedule. Here's the word. Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, more Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. Please look forward to it. Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, more game dev stream stuff. Probably more Shootlancer stuff as regards to that if I have tasks to get done. If not, more mystery game. Next Friday will be another Fighting Friday stream. What Fighting Friday game it will be, don't know. Since Strive feels a lot better than I was expecting even before Strive 2.0, whatever that is, you know, we'll see what it is when we get to that time. Alrighty. All that said, though, I'm gonna find somebody to raid in a minute, but Nightbot has said most of the things right before ads. If you scroll up a little bit, you can get a link to our Guilded where we hang out and do other stuff. You do have to have a Roblox account to join, and I understand that if you're like, I don't want to fuck with Roblox after like all of this, I get it. We made that before they started getting really in the weeds, but if you don't want to make a Roblox account, you don't have to play Roblox, but if you don't want to make one in order to do that and join, I understand. No pressure. Munity is the studio that I am a part of, that I helped co-found. We are together working on Shootlancer. You can play the prototype over on our itch page. You can join us on Patreon, free or paid. If you go to the Patreon or to our main site, you get access to our Discord, and that is where exclusive testing builds for Shootlancer will be going at some point in the future. And last but not least, as far as like my other links go, here they are. The blog stuff I'm going to update a little bit later. Stream VODs are up on my YouTube. Ko-Fi if you want to support me in the stream but don't want to give money to Amazon or Jeff Bezos, that's the way. Throne is anonymous gift giving for the stream, home office stuff, apartment stuff, whatever you feel is appropriate. And my card has all my other social media links, but really, I'm primarily active on Blue Sky these days. All right. I want to actually raid somebody. So this time around, so let's see who's up. I'm going to go look on Twitch and see who we can go hang out with. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Bum bum. Bum bum. Okay. So last person who would have gone to go visit would have been Twisted. So let's put that down there. But let's just do PT because it's easier. That would have been today is what, the 29th? That would have been 27th. So 8, 7, 28, 25. And now let's go see. Yeah. So I cleared the field. So the only people we cannot go see tonight are PT, well, and they're not streaming anyway. Thor and President Noir are the only people that we really can't go visit. You know what? Yeah, let's go hang out with friend of the channel, uh, Silverstone Condor. They are currently playing some. They're playing the Mario, not the Mario. They're playing the Sonic racing kart game, Sonic Sega All Stars Racing. That thing, the new one, that is doing the open beta thingamadoozle. I don't remember the name right now. They're playing that. We're gonna go hang out with them while they do that. So SH does raids is the stream call. Give Silver your love. I already told y'all when the next stream times are. If you can't make it, by all means do. If you can't, I understand. Thank you, Kots. I appreciate it. Anyway, stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you go outside, be excellent to each other. We're not the bigots, racist, terrorists, sexist, anti-queer folks, or fascists. Black Lives Matter. Trans rights and human rights are... Sorry, trans rights are human rights, and so are reproductive rights. People who can get pregnant, they're the ones who should have the right to decide what happens to their bodies, and the government should support that. I'm just saying. Palestine, Sudan, the Congo, New Caledonia, and Haiti must all be free. None of us are free till we're all free. Look out for each other. Do your best to take care of each other. You don't have to do big things in order to do that. Just the little things are oftentimes enough. All right, y'all. Go hang out with Silver. Have y'all a good time. I'm gonna go handle a couple other things that I need to go handle. Take care. Until next time I see y'all. Deuces.